Hi, I'm Colonel Kelly Howard, and this is Tactical Mobility, Active Recovery, and Mindfulness for after a ruck march, either immediately after or the next day during recovery. This sequence focuses on stretching, mobility, and relaxation to alleviate muscle tension and promote mental and physical recovery after a challenging ruck march. We'll work on releasing the whole body, especially the shoulders, back, and legs. During this class, listen to your body, modify the poses as needed to accommodate your needs, and take breaks whenever you need. This class is a moving mindfulness, so the focus will be on the breath, which is the connection between the mind and body. If the mind starts to wander to thoughts that have nothing to do with what we're doing here on the mat, just guide it back to the breath. So we'll begin with a centering breath, finding a comfortable seat with the spine tall, and closing your eyes. Perhaps changing your breath to an inhale and exhale through the nose. Breathing into the low belly to help send calming signals to the mind. Just release a little bit of the tension you might be carrying in the shoulders. Another breath here, and gently releasing it. Allowing the eyes to open, let's start to move the body, beginning with some gentle neck stretches, right ear to right shoulder. Then chin down, and left ear to left shoulder. Come back to the center, and we'll repeat that once more. Right ear to right shoulder. Back to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Good. Bring the chin back to chest and inhale. Lift up the chin. Bringing the shoulders into rotation here. On an inhale, reach the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, release them back and down. Once more, inhale, reach the shoulders up, exhale them back and down. Good, last time, inhale, reach the shoulders up, exhale them back and down. Taking a few wrist circles here to loosen up the wrists and hands, just a few times in either direction. All right. Beginning to rotate the torso, just some gentle movements, clockwise or counterclockwise, either way is fine. We're gonna go both ways. As fast or as slow as feels good to your body right now. And then a few circles in the other direction. Good. Coming back to center. We'll take a side bend, placing the right hand down for support. Inhale, reach left arm up, and exhale, side bend to the right. Rooting down the left hip into the ground, reaching through the fingertips, gazing up, opening the chest towards the sky. On an inhale, press yourself up, reach up, and exhale, side bend the other way. Rooting through the right hip, pulling through right fingertips, gazing up if it's all right with the neck. Nice. Inhale, come up. And this time we'll twist, rotating to the right side, left hand on right knee. As you inhale, the spine gets taller, crown of the head reaches to the sky. Exhaling, maybe twist a bit deeper. Next inhale, both arms reach to the sky. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, deepening the twist. Good. Inhale, come back to center and roll over onto all fours or come on to all fours any way you'd like. So this is a tabletop position with the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. On an inhale, arch the back, lift the tailbone, lift the chin. As you exhale, round the back, tuck the chin and tailbone. So moving at your own pace, which might be faster or slower than mine, matching movement with breath. Take one more. And then find a neutral spine. Moving next into thread the needle. Place the left hand into the center of the mat for support, and on an inhale, reach right arm to the sky. As you exhale, palm faces up as you come on to the right shoulder, releasing the head down to the mat. You can use the left hand for support here, maybe two. Deepen the twist, potentially extending the left leg back if that feels good to your body. No need to go further though if you feel something where you're at. On your next inhale, press left hand down into the mat, reach right arm to the sky. Place right hand down on the inside or the center of the mat. Inhale, reach left arm up. As you exhale, thread the needle, palm faces up, come on to left shoulder. Head resting down on the mat, keeping the steady inhale, steady exhale. Finding your place in this pose, which might be different than it was on the other side, depending on how your shoulder and back feel twisting in this direction. And when you're ready, on the next inhale, press right hand down, lifting the left arm to the sky, and place it down. Move the knees now, mats width apart, coming into child's pose. Reaching hips to heels, stretching the arms out in front, and resting forehead on the mat. If the forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can bring the forearms in and rest on that. Or get even higher by placing fist on top of fist and relaxing forehead there. The contact of the forehead on the mat or forearms or fists is very soothing to the nervous system. Next inhale, come forward onto all fours. Plant both hands and curl the toes under, lifting the hips high to downward facing dog. In this down dog, bend the knees a lot if the hamstrings are tight, and lift the tailbone towards the sky before pressing the heels back to the floor. Keep the head and neck nice and relaxed, maybe bringing the tongue to the upper palate to release the jaw. Spread all 10 fingers, pressing index finger and thumb down, especially to take pressure off the wrists. And if the shoulders are by the ears, externally rotate them away from the ears. And then bending the knees, looking forward, walk to the top of the mat, holding either elbow for ragdoll, and allowing gravity to stretch the back of the legs and create space in your spine. Head and neck relax. If some movement feels good here, bring in some movement. This is your own practice. And then releasing either elbow with a rounded spine, one vertebra at a time, come up to stand. Head comes last. Bring the shoulders up and back and down. Let's move into some attention to our legs. We'll take Warrior Two on the right side. So starting from mountain pose, feeling the foundation. Lift and spread all 10 toes and press them back evenly into your mat or the ground. And feeling your body weight evenly distributed through all 4 corners of each foot. And tucking the tailbone in slightly if you notice that you have a curve in the low back. Tucking the tailbone in to keep the bottom of the spine long. Sternum lifts, arms open at the sides, hands alive. Chin parallel with the ground. So from this place of grounding, we'll step back with the left foot into Warrior Two. You can place your hands on your hips for balance if you'd like. So take a big step backward and look down to see that the front heel is bisecting the back foot. Now, if your legs are a little more sore, you might want to back off the bend a little bit and not come so close to 90 degrees. Inhale, reach the arms up, parallel to the floor, back arm at the same height as the front arm. Shoulders continue to relax away from the ears, hands reaching in opposite directions. Steady gaze, steady breath. Good. Now straighten the front leg here. And on an inhale, reach forward. Reach forward without coming down, getting as much space as you can in the side body from hip crease to fingertips. Left hand to hip, and as you exhale, release the right hand down for triangle pose. For me, it feels best to have my hand in mid-shin, but yours might be on the ankle or the floor if you are more flexible. And pulling your torso back in alignment with your hips as if there's a wall behind you that you're resting on. If you feel like you have balance here, you can extend left arm up to the sky, maybe turning and gazing up at the left hand. Keeping a steady and calm inhale. Steady and calm exhale. Good. Next inhale, find your way back to warrior two, bending in the front knee. And then bring hands to hips, come up on the back toes, and bring both hands down to the inside of front foot for lizard lunge. So release the back knee down, release the back toes, and move the front foot a little more to the right to give yourself some space here in the hips. And two options here. You can either stay on your hands, or if it's available to you to come down to one or both forearms, you're welcome to. Again, there's no benefit to going deeper if you feel something where you're at. All right, if you're down on the forearms, come up on the hands, and then frame the front foot, bringing the right hand to the outside, and start to toe heel your foot over to the left side of the mat for pigeon pose. So I'll show a variation if this does not seem accessible to you today. But if you're in full pigeon, allow the knee to relax down. For most of us, the foot will come closer to the groin. If you are more flexible in your hips, your shin can be more parallel with the front of the mat. From here, we get space in the spine, puffing up like a pigeon, and coming down on the forearms. You can also choose to rest the forehead on stacked fists or a block or the floor so that you get that calming effect. If full pigeon isn't feeling good for your body today, come into a seated figure four. It's really the same thing, but with the ankle above the knee and you controlling how much you intensify the stretch by walking the upper body closer to the shin or bringing the left foot in. Either way, from wherever you are, we're just breathing into our right hip. It's the biggest joint in the body, the biggest intersection of bone and muscle. It's a place where we store so much physical tension. And then whether you are in seated pigeon or in the full pigeon, we'll make our way into downward facing dog. So coming up on the hands, curling the back toes under, or if you're in seated, finding your way back to a downward facing dog with the hips high. Again, you may not be very warm yet, so being gentle with yourself, be pedaling one foot to the ground and then the other, keeping the hamstrings bent to really give some room to allow the back to lengthen, and releasing the heels towards the floor. Head and neck nice and relaxed. And then we'll take the other side. So looking forward, lunge the left foot in between the hands. Now if you need to step the foot up a few times or use the left hand to bring the foot, totally good. Turn the right foot flat, and on an inhale, bring the arms up to warrior two arms. So look down, check your stance, front heel bisecting the back foot. Our hips are opening here. So left knee, look to see if it's pointing out at your toe. Often, when we have strong glutes, the knee can collapse in. So move it out. Back heel pressing towards the floor, gazing at the front middle finger. Steady gaze, steady breath. Good, straighten front leg. And on an inhale, reach forward, get as much space as you can, not reaching down yet. Reaching forward, and as you exhale, coming into triangle pose, left hand to shin, right hand to the sky, or keep it at right hip. The priority here is bringing the shoulders in alignment with the legs and hips. Doesn't matter so much how far down the hand is, or if the right arm is even in the sky. Inhaling steadily. Exhaling steadily. On your next inhale, come back to Warrior Two. Good, and then exhale, bring both hands down to the inside of front foot, coming up on the back toes, and then releasing the back knee down, releasing the toes. So in lizard lunge on the left side, finding your spot here. Maybe you come down to one or both forearms. Just like our shoulders, our hips are often not symmetrical, so what works for you on one side might be different on this side. You may have more or less flexibility here. Just see if you can notice that without judging it as good or bad. If you came down to the forearms, come back up to the hands. We'll move into pigeon pose, so framing the front foot, toe heel the foot over towards the right side of your mat, gently releasing the left knee down. On the other side, I showed it in a seated figure 4, but you can do the same pose if it doesn't feel good here on your backs instead. And what that would look like is reclining all the way down and placing left ankle above the knee and hugging the knee into the chest, maybe holding on to the back of the hamstring if that's available. Maybe gently encouraging the hip to open with putting a little weight on the left knee. So lots of different ways that you can work with pigeon. Again, neither is better or worse. You're just customizing the pose for your own body. All right, if you came down to the forearms in pigeon, make your way up onto your hands, and we'll reach back for one more downward facing dog. So toes curl under, hips lift high. Maybe noticing any differences here in your hamstrings or hips from when you started. And then come down to the knees for another child's pose. Knees together or apart, your choice. Sink the hips back towards the heels. You shimmy your torso in between and allow the forehead to rest on either your mat or your forearms. Inhaling steadily. Exhaling steadily. Feeling the area between your shoulder blades just release a little closer to the floor. Releasing just a little bit of tension in the back. As you inhale, find your way up into tabletop, and we'll move into seated. So feet out to the side, and come into a bound angle position. So feet are together, and as you fold forward, inhaling, get tall, exhaling, fold forward. You can press the elbows into the inner thighs if that feels good. You might also choose, if it feels better, to extend the feet out and allow the spine to round. This just gets the hips from a different angle. Good. Inhaling, slowly come up and place the feet on the mat. Holding on to the hamstrings, lower yourself down to the ground. And bring both knees into the chest, rocking side to side. And keep the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg out. Allow the left hip flexor to be heavy here, almost like there's a sandbag on your thigh, gently releasing it towards the floor. An option from here to move into half happy baby. If it's available to you, if you feel like it would feel good, hold on to the outer edge of the right foot, sole of the foot to the ceiling. Just getting into the right inner thigh, again, allowing left hip to be heavy. If you took half happy baby, hug the knee back into the chest and extend the right arm out to the side, palm facing down. Bring the knee over towards the left for a supine spinal twist. Maybe resting the right foot on the inside of left knee for support. You can also take any version of a supine spinal twist that feels good for you. Maybe adjusting the shoulder blades under and turn the head in the direction of the right hand. Exhaling, be deepening the stretch. Bring the right knee back into the chest. Give it a squeeze and swap it out with the left leg. So right leg extends straight, knee into chest. Right thigh relaxes onto the ground. And either stay here or take half happy baby, holding the outer edge of left foot, bringing sole of foot to the sky. Placing right hand down on right hip flexor, encouraging it to relax. Again, going further into half happy baby is not needed if you feel something right here with the knee into the chest. If you took half happy baby, release the foot. And then extend left arm out to the side, palm down, and bring the knee over towards the right, resting left foot on the inside of right knee. Adjusting the shoulder blades under to turn the head in the direction of left hand. Allowing the eyes to close or the gaze to be soft. Inhaling into the spine. Exhaling, releasing any tension you find there. Bring the left knee back into the chest now, give it a squeeze. And bring the right knee up to meet it. And pull yourself into a tight ball, lifting everything off the ground that you can. And contract every muscle from your feet, through your legs, your core, the shoulders, your arms, your hands, even your face. Hold the air in, contracting and holding and contracting. And as you exhale, come into final relaxation. Spreading the legs long, allowing the feet to flop open. Maybe tucking the shoulder blades under a little bit to lift the heart. Palms open at the sides. In this pose, we are very deliberately inviting the parasympathetic side of the nervous system to take over. So give yourself this time just to do nothing. Allow the body to do what it does when you give it an opportunity to be still and rest. Welcome you to stay here for as long as you have, but if you need to move on with the rest of your day now, Take a full body stretch, reaching from fingertips to toes like you're waking up first thing in the morning. And then roll to one side, whatever side is comfortable to you. Resting your head on your arm, bringing the knees into the chest, supporting your right hand with the floor. Be committing to releasing any mental stress and tension here that you don't need to take with you when you sit back up. And when you're ready, pressing right hand down into the mat of the floor and finding your way to a comfortable seat with the eyes closed and the spine tall. And thank yourself. Feel some gratitude towards yourself for taking this time to work the body in this way, to strengthen the mind, and to enhance the connection between mind and body. Hands come to heart center. I thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your day.